Okay, this video is about the standard form of a parabola. Now, standard forms, there's two standard forms you need to know. The standard form of quadratic, which looks like your basic trinomial, ax squared plus bx plus c. We've worked with these, we've factored these, we've identified a, b, and c. That's the standard form of a quadratic function. If it's a parabola, in parabola form, this is what the equation will look like. Y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. Now, you should recognize h and k back from our circle days because h and k are my vertex of the parabola. So remember, that's where it changes direction. That's your vertex, okay? So notice again that the sign is opposite here. So whatever h is, I have to change it when I write it in the formula. But k stays the same. So it's another thing to look for. Now, once you know this equation, you can look at it and determine what is the vertex. You can also determine what's the axis of symmetry. Because if you remember yesterday, we talked about axis of symmetry is just x equals whatever the h value is of your vertex. So that should make some sense. We'll work on this as we go along. All right. So first of all, find the vertex and axis of symmetry. This is the first kind of question you're going to encounter on your homeworks. So you need to remember the standard form says this: y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. To find the vertex, I'm looking for h and I'm looking for k. But I need to have the opposite sign of my h as my x value. So right here it's a plus 4. My h is a plus 4. The k is a plus 1. Well, in order to be my real h, I need to switch the sign. So it's because it's negative in the formula. So it should be negative 4. The k value is exactly the way it looks in the equation. It's just a 1. So then my axis of symmetry is simply x equals, and whatever the h was, in this case it's negative 4. So x equals negative 4. Look at this equation. Here's my a, here's h, and here's k. Alright, so remember this is negative h. This is negative h. That means the real h is a positive 1. My k is a negative 4. Axis of symmetry then would be x equals 1. Alright, the second kind of equation you're going to have is find the equation of the parabola with a given vertex and a point. So here's your goal. Your answer is going to be in this form, but all they give you is the vertex and the point. So with vertex, they're giving you h, they're giving you k. With the point, they're giving you the x, and they're giving you the y. The only variable left that you have to solve for is a. So let's do this. Alright, so y is 0 equals a times x, negative 1, minus h, so it's a plus 2, squared, plus k. Then I solve this. Negative 1 plus 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. So 1a plus 2 equals 0. Solve it for a. Negative 2, negative 2. So a equals negative 2. Now I know the a value of the equation. So my final answer is going to have the x and the y in it. So it's going to be y equals negative 2 times x minus what h is, so it becomes a plus 2 squared plus k, which was a 2. So on these problems, you are using the information they give you to find a and then putting it into standard form. Let's try another one of these. Same process. Vertex is h, k, the point is my x and my y. So I'm going to solve this for a. 0 is y equals a times x minus h, so plus 1 squared, plus k, which is 4. Negative 3 plus 2 is, negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. Square negative 2 and you get a 4. Solve it for a. So negative 4 equals 4a. Divide by 4. So a is negative 1. Now I put it into standard form. Standard form has the x, the y, the x in it. You place in numbers for a, h, and k. Remember that. So y equals negative 1 times x minus whatever h is. So this will be a plus 1 squared plus k. In this case, k is 4. There's my solution, standard form of a parabola. Okay, the third type of problem you're going to need to know how to solve is, it will read like this. It says write two equations with the given intercepts, one that opens up, one that opens down. So it's working the equation backwards. Instead of finding the solutions, it's giving you the solutions, and you have to find the equation. So to create my factors, I'm going to do just that. I'm going to x plus 0, 0 doesn't have a sign, I have to mess with that. So this would be x, I'm going to make it the opposite sign of this, so that if I set this equal to 0, x would be positive 10. So that's where I get these factors, guys. You just change the sign of the x value. 0 doesn't matter. Well, this over here just simplifies to x. This is x minus 10. Now I multiply these. I'm trying to get the full equation, so I distribute my x, so I get x squared minus 10x. All right? So this is one of the equations. The goal is to write 2. Remember, one opens up, one opens down. This one will open up because x squared is positive. In order to make the one open down, all I do is slap on a negative 1 into the front of this. I distribute a negative 1 across all of this, so I end up with negative x squared plus 10x. This is my second equation. All right, so I have two answers here. That one opens up, this one opens down, and I'm finished. All right, let's try another one of these. First of all, these are my x-intercepts, so that I got these from solving a factor like this up here. So this one would be x minus 4, and the factor that created a positive 8 would be x minus 8. Remember, I know it's this factor because if I set x minus 4 equal to 0 and solve it, I get a positive 4. I know it's x minus 8 because x minus 8 equals to 0. If I solve that, x is a positive 8. Hope that makes some sense. If not, we can talk about it in class. But there's my two factors. Now that I know those, I'm going to multiply these with FOIL or box, whatever way you want. First terms gives me x squared, outer negative x, inner negative 4x, and last is plus 32. Simplify. 8 plus 4 is 12, so it's negative 12x plus 32. So here's my first equation. All right, x squared minus 12x plus 32. To get my second equation that opens down, I'm going to multiply through by negative 1. So my second equation will be negative x squared plus 12x minus 32. All right. This one will open up because it's a positive x squared. This one will open down because it's a negative x squared. All right. Now for the whisk, I want you to write the equation for the parabola with the vertex of negative 1, 2, and a point of 1, 18. In the whisk, you're going to tell me the value for a in the final standard form of your equation. So this number right here is what you're going to tell me for a. Okay? So you need to come up with a full equation, but this is what you're going to write in the whisk, is whatever you get. Come prepared with questions tomorrow if this is confusing, and we will work through them.